Good morning, Hit Nation, and all those who watch me still. My name is Roy, and this will be my Wordless Half a Penny Part 25, Draft Edition Part A. This series is the only series whose host wholeheartedly admits he has no idea what he's talking about, but he can read. In any case, this will be, of course, about Kel'el Ware, our 15th pick that happened a couple of days ago on the 26th. And I'm going to give a shout out to a few people. Those are people from our Facebook group who are friends and also a personal friend of mine who helped me see the game better and whose comments I rely on to be able to talk about the draftees because although I watch the highlights, I have to do a better job at actually following college basketball when it matters and be able to actually see some information firsthand. But because I don't, this will be heavily based on Brady Hawk's thread on Kel'el Ware, but also a shout out to Rafael Patpat and Ernest Bautista, if that is the right way to pronounce his surname, Andy Nichols, and Dante. Thank you guys. It's always great to have your reviews. Otherwise, I don't think that I'll be able to record much. In any case, the importance of my opinion, number one, just to get this out of the way, is that I, at first, I was a little bit scared that this would kind of fall under the same category as Edward Parker, again from our Facebook group, reminded me, as the Precious Achua draft in which we missed on Maxi because one of the names that we wanted and that Edward Parker specifically wanted was that of McCain, which, again, as a kind of a deja vu, went to the 76ers. And we went big again with Kel'el Ware. But what he brings to the table kind of convinced me that this is potentially a very good pick for a few reasons. Number one, and most important reason, is defensive prowess, his defensive skills, the fact that the Heat have had in the recent past, as great as their defense usually ranks, they have had to use safe, as per Brady Hawk's exact word, safe defensive techniques or tactics. Because what they needed to always do is, number one, overwork Bam, the constant switches, a lot of zone, and now we have a center who is number one, very athletic, good size with at 7 feet, average 15 points, about 10 rebounds, and about a couple of assists a game. And he's a very good shot blocker. So hopefully that translates well into the NBA. Another part that we hope that translates well into the NBA is his ability to move well in traffic. He's well positioned. Because of his athleticism, he can also bounce the ball off a little bit, but most importantly, he moves well and he's well positioned in traffic. And because of his size and because of his wingspan, he's actually a very easy target to find. So that could add to the dimension of the game to have somebody who's going to be reliably there under the paint. And another facet of the defensive skills is that he can actually help Bam get to a point that I thought was already, we were already past that conversation, but it kind of came back. And again, relying on all of the expertise of my friends and all of the good people at 5 Reasons Sports and what I read here and there from other commentators. Although, like I said, when it comes to the Heat, 5 Reasons Sports, that's my recommendation number one, and Brady Hawk is one of my favorites. So basically what the conversation was, and I thought, that was over, is that Bam is supposed to be a PF, right? Supposed to be a power forward. Now I thought, no, Bam has established himself as a very decent center in the NBA. I'm not sure about the superstar status, but definitely a decent center in the NBA. But no, if Bam perhaps can play a different position and Kel'el Ware can get the minutes that Yurtseven didn't get, that at first Nikola Jovic didn't get, but of course in a very different position, if he can get those minutes and he can actually be a reliable center, then perhaps Bam can play the fourth and he can actually be successful in that position. Sorry for drawing a little bit of a blank. The second part is the fact that he actually has range. and he can move well. He can potentially develop into a person that will be able to, dribble and get his mid-range shots well. So it's not just the fact that he's big and he can get to the rim, but he can also shoot well. He does have range. He does have range as a third point, as a three-pointer, right? A very high pointer release added to his size helps. He can potentially develop into a catch and shoot player, and that can help us a lot, especially in that corner. That is one of the functions that, again, Brady Hawk hopes to see. So his athleticism combined with his defensive prowess, combined with the fact that he is tall enough, adding some sizing to the roster, it's all going to depend on Spo's usage. Now, I, for one, want to see him play to begin with, and would like to see, obviously, Spo use those tools, especially in the beginning of the season when he's quote-unquote habit forming. In any which case, that is it for me, with one exception. Sorry, I kind of thought that the Miami Heat, because they picked Kel'el, they were thinking on Zach Edey, but they knew that it was going to go out first. But from what I read, if the Heat, the people that actually understand the inside of the organization, again, shout out to the people at 5 Reasons Sports. As I understand it, if the Heat wanted to go big, that's the route that they were aiming for to begin with. In any case, that's it for me. Now for real, let's go Heat and have yourselves a beautiful rest of the day. Part B is coming at some point very soon.